Switch statements are an important component of the the looping philosophy in any programming language. So let's learn Swift statement in in switch statements in Swift. So what you do for switch statement is let's say you've got a var, let's say you've got a variable called score, and this keeps increasing or decreasing. So let's say it starts with a value of 0. Now you can, depending on the score value, you can assign various outputs to the score. So the way you put it is that you say switch and you say score, which is whatever the variable is, open a curly brace and close it, and you have to begin every switch statement with a default. So you have to close it with default. So I will say that you begin it with default. So your default could be print none of the above. Okay, so that's your default. But what you don't, the default is the only is the last case scenario, but that's not the only scenario we'll have. So let's say the score is actually 0. So in this case the score is 0. So if the score is 0, then you say, and remember, switch statements work with integers. It doesn't work with string, so you can't do it with string. So let's say your case is 0, then you can say print your score is 0. Okay, so if in the case of the score being 0, you print 0, and in the case that the score is, let's say, 1 or 2, you can say that print the score is 1 or 2. And you can have multiple scenarios like this. You can have 3. So you could say print the value you have typed as 3. And you could have a case number, and here you could give any value, since I'm just trying to sort of cover a lot of values. So you say print your value must be either 5, 6, 7, 8. So you see here, depending on the value that you get, you can the switch statement will switch to one of those. So if the score is 0, then this statement works. If the score is 1, this statement works. If the score is 3, this statement works, and so on and so forth. So let's just try changing this to 3. So now the second case should work, which is this case. So as you see that the value you have typed is 3. Now if I type anything apart from 3, let's say I type 6, then the value should go here. So it's either 5, 6 or 7, and if I type 99, then it should default to none of the above. So this is how switch statement works, and the advantage of switch statement over if is that it is it's much more structured in its approach. And B, it's faster because the compiler understands this better than if statement, because if has a lot of other parameters which the compiler has to go through. So it's slightly faster than if statements. So those are the two things why you might want to use a switch statement, and especially this is useful for gaming scenarios and so on and so forth. But remember, switch statements cannot have variables. So I cannot go here and say, you know, hello. And I cannot say compare it to hello. So that wouldn't work. So it only works with digits, integers, and integers alone. So I'll put it back to 0. And now it's working. So this is switch statements. Swift is this is switch statements. Swift is an amazing programming language. I think everybody should try Swift. Have a great day. Great Swifting.